What's up, everybody? This is your boy Yung N.U, and I'm rocking with Kountry Fan Mail.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Clutadon, Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, Season 5, Episode 17, 15, 16. You know how I do. I don't even remember, but it don't matter, though. We in this motherfucker with another one. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. Thank y'all so much for being patient with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into it, but as y'all know, we've been going through some other shit in the personal side of things. You know, we've been kind of slow up with releasing our episodes, but we back in this motherfucker. And speaking of being back in this motherfucker, you know, I really appreciate this cat that I'm about to bring onto the stage because you know, a lot of people don't really talk about the behind the scenes of what it's like when you're scheduling an interview. A lot of people just think that, oh, you know, two people just decide to be like, hey, FaceTime me, let's interview, bro. And it's just how it is. No, that's not how it is. You gotta coordinate schedules, you gotta coordinate lifetime, you gotta make sure there ain't no other shit going on in your life. You gotta have all this shit going on. So I always am extremely appreciative when people are patient and understanding that shit happens and we might need to reschedule and do anything. But anyways, without that being said, or without further more being said on that subject, we're gonna go ahead and get into this interview. So this interview, I'm super excited about. This cat right here, man. I was listening to his music. His music, and I ain't gonna lie, you know, I feel like I had an automatic bias to this cat because you know, as people might not know, have a very, very endearing love for Japan. And you know, Japan is literally as one of my places. And I know that we're not talking about Japan because that's not where this cat is from, more so Korea. However, and also I feel like just anytime that you're tapping in with another country or with another people or with another culture, it is very important to understand that the blending of the two is what really makes the shit grow and what makes it get to those other places and what makes it touch those other coasts. So I'm not gonna get long-winded. I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. So without further ado, I want to introduce a very special gentleman to the stage, hailing currently from LA, but originally, and I'll let him correct me if I'm wrong, from Korea, my homie, Yung N.U. What's going on with you, G?
What's going on, man? How's it going? Everything's good right here. Just, staying busy, keeping the grind up,
Already, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Hell yeah. Thank you for having me, man. Shout out Lazy for hooking us up.
Already, shout out Lazy, man. Lazy, yeah, for sure, man. Hey, you know, and let me and you know, I'm not even gonna hold you. I for a long time, up until maybe about 2 seconds before I said what I was gonna say in the intro, I realized that when I was listening to your album, I thought that I was seeing the American flag and the Japanese flag, but literally as I was saying it out loud, I was like, "That's not Japan, that's Korea." So I
You
really
were
want you to
right.
go ahead, yeah, give me a little bit, tell me about yourself, and actually, no, that's not how we start the podcast. I have a classic question in which I asked when we start the podcast. What was the first
Okay,
song that
what's
you
that?
actually, What was the first song that you listened to when you woke up this morning?
First song was, what was it? It was Patient by Post Malone.
Okay, why that song?
I was actually on my way to the gym with some friends, so I was trying to get myself amped up and ready to go. And that was the song of choice that first sparked in my mind. You feel me? Throwback, kind of.
I fuck with that. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And you know,
Yeah.
I asked that question just because I like to get a good understanding of like just what people listen to when they wake up. You know, so I've gotten so many different answers, whether it's gospel, whether it's Post Malone, whether it's G Easy, whether it's fucking G Herbo, whether it's fucking Kirk Franklin. I've gotten, you know, gospel, all different types of, you know, saying suggestions are, or more so answers when I ask that question. But you know, kind of, you know, I was gonna kind of go around it before I segue straight into it, but nah, I just got to straight up ask, like, tell me about yourself and where you're from, where your family's from, and you know, all that shit.
So I was from the Coachella Valley, born and raised in Palm Desert. Um, I am currently out in India right now, actually, in the desert. I Funny thing about it is my mom on the Korea
Talking about
part
you
that
in
you mentioned
India?
earlier. Huh?
You say you in India?
No, N.U.
Oh, I thought you said India. I was like, oh shit. Okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. But when you speak for you speaking on the Korean part, my mom was actually adopted from Korea at a very young age, so that part of me derives from that, and then the rest of my family's from the desert as well. But yeah, I've been out there. Um, I just went to college, graduated out there in CSU Channel Islands, out in Camarillo, California, out in Ventura County, and like I graduated in 21. So I just been keeping myself busy with work and just trying to step up my game as far as other aspects I got going on in my life. Feel me?
I definitely feel that shit, man, and I appreciate you explaining that because I definitely had some things, I guess, mixed up because I wasn't sure like if you were first generation, second generation. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, man. Just kind of sliding right into the interview, man. So as we mentioned before, my homie Jason Lazy, put us on, introduced us, and he, saying he told me about you, and y'all dropped the song which we're gonna get into, and so the song Big Girls, and which it was so refreshing hearing your verse on Big Girls, and honestly, it was even more refreshing seeing the video because it's just like that's not something that you would expect. And it was
Yeah.
really, and it was, it wasn't like saying like Little Dicky comedy refreshing. It was like literally like, yo, he actually in here spitting, you know what I'm saying? So then I went back and I wanted to make sure that I checked in, that I tapped in with your tape, and it's self-titled tape. And tell me about that process, that creative process when you were making your self-titled album. How was that actually putting everything together? And even furthermore, I think that when you pick the cover art for your album, it really has, it's supposed to mean so like, what I'm saying, when you put the American and the Korean flag together, I feel like, of course everybody knows that, you put them together, what that's supposed to signify. But I feel like for an album cover, it had to have been like something much deeper. So I just want you to kind of dive into that if you can.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for asking, by the way, man. That was my first album, like legit project, full on, that I like dropped um ever, and the process of making that was pretty fun, but it was very hard. Like at the same time, I recorded most of those songs in like a closet of mine, which like um what was it, with a microphone stand and a bunch of the panels, the foam panels around me. So
Yeah.
there was that. Um, Shit, really, man. I've been working with this one producer for a while. Like for that time being, I got a bunch of my beats from him, and I just got to writing as far as like what came to my mind, and I was really experimenting with different types of like ideas and storytelling and flows that I like incorporated into that. And a lot of those beats also were from my homie back in college that I made our my underdog EP with, and yeah, so that was all like I made in 21 actually. Yeah, in 21 and like around the COVID time, where it's more relevant around that time. And on the cover art, I had my roommate, actually, one of my roommates, he photoshopped pictures of both flags onto one like picture and portrait, because that was his idea. Because
Mm-hmm.
I got a tattoo that was similar to that, and I kind of we wanted that to kind of translate into, this is my self-titled, this is who I am, this is Yung N.U,
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was the whole idea behind it, really, for the most part. I was really just trying to get myself out there and like get the rock rolling on it as far as like putting that album out. I've I've been getting a lot better as far as like flows and finding my voice after that as well. But yeah, it was a fun experience to like finally put something out and say like, yo, I actually did this. Like like this is
So,
something that my past self in like middle school or even high school would not even see me like doing in the future. So it's just pretty crazy to consider.
yeah, for sure. I understand that feeling. I'm saying, I have that feeling every time that I look at the podcast that we're creating. Like literally, like we talk about so many things, and when it actually comes to fruition and we put it out, it's just like, yo, we actually did that shit. And saying, even coming from saying, knowing that I wanted to get in music or be involved in some sort of music since I was younger. And once I realized that I wasn't going to be the artist, I was like, how am I going to do that? So like this podcast is part of that. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. And before we even go any further, I just have to ask, what does N.U mean?
So those are my initials, but I actually have another abbreviation for it. It also stands for never underestimate.
I fuck with that. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
And this actually segues me great into my next question, because I really did listen to your shit. And when I'm trying to tell you on Nothing New, you hit niggas over the head. Like, you was really talking on some shit. You talked so much about, well, and it made me realize just how relevant this shit is, because you talked about school. You talked about friends that you had in school. You talked about the real ones, the fake ones, the people that fucked with you then, people that don't fuck with you now. You kind of went into all that. So what I really want to ask is, like, tell me kind of how that experience has been in real time. Because there's a lot of things that you can rap about that might have just been something you were rapping about, but not something that you actually experienced. So it's like, if that was actually your experience, like, tell me something in real time that, when it comes to those friends who are there, they weren't there, the ones who've always been there, the ones that popped up now, and it's like, y'all didn't even like me in high school. Like, tell me
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, so like I had a few of the like those situations. I'm not gonna lie, and like around that same time that was when I first started like putting stuff out and publishing my stuff. So like I had one, for instance, one ex friend of mine that was like, he was feeling entitled to like my progress, so to say, in the
Mm.
process, and it was all just like stupid. Like I was
And this,
just like,
this is a high school.
making. I'm sorry.
This is a high school or college.
This was after college.
Okay.
Yeah, after college. Yeah, but it was a friend from school though.
For sure.
Yeah. So like, I basically I was like putting my foot in the door. I was making moves. I was getting people like messaging me about like opportunities to perform, all that, and the progression I was taking for myself. They just like were feeling entitled. They wanted to take advantage of my like success at the moment, I guess I should say, and like the opportunities that was gonna propel my career, or like, so to speak, at the moment. So I was like, hey man, like, I can't rock with you like that, like if you're gonna be pulling that stuff like that. And I'd be like supportive of my homie too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the little things you notice. Like when we would make music, like, I'd be singing his lyrics, he wouldn't sing one word of mine. I'd be dancing his shit, he wouldn't be dancing to mine. It's it's the little things. So stuff like that I just had to deal with like in the process. So that kind of like reminded me, of that beat. And then like that guy actually who produced the beat, one of my homies from back home, he made that beat, and we were talking about the situation that just went down, that I just explained, and he was like, man, you need to like you should like put your mind onto it, like say something about it, get your point across.
Yeah.
Because I know you could say something, and like he's like, you're right, man. Like this is what like, I'm just starting out. Like this would be good to like, put my foot down, put my message out there, But yeah, that's mostly all like, it's all like stuff that happened. Like most of the stuff I rap about is stuff that's happened to me. So
It
I
seems
try
like
to keep it like, huh?
I said it seems like it is. I honestly, I don't hear anything that you said on really any of your tracks that did not really seem like it was like, it was a real thing. Saying I think one of your lines that's one of my favorite lines is, I got dibs on regular, call me Frito Lay, or something.
Oh
It is
yeah,
something like it. Did I say that right?
yeah. I think yeah, it's something like that. It's been a while, but it's something
It's like,
around those areas.
yeah. I really fuck with that. I really fuck with that, because, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just everybody wants to claim, so many different things that I just so, just are just it's so they think it's so, when I hear the word exotic and people be like, oh, I want that exotic, everybody has and wants the exotic. Is it really exotic anymore?
Yeah,
You know,
for real.
it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna sit back. But not to get too far ahead, there was something that you said in that really just kind of stuck out to me. You were saying like you and your homie were making music, and you would be singing along to his lyrics, but he wouldn't be singing along to yours.
Yeah,
And that right there, like that touched my soul for real, because I feel like anytime that you're in this in the industry, you know, any type of way, support is literally just as green as money. You know what I'm saying? Listening to my shit,
for
bumping my
real.
shit, knowing my shit is just as green as money. And people don't really, I think people don't understand that. And I was literally just in the bathroom right before I was about to start thinking about this fact. Yeah, I was taking the shit, Shay. But I was in the bathroom right before I started, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, I wonder what people who don't podcast, who don't make music, who don't edit videos, who don't do shit like that. I wonder what people who don't do those things look at us and think like they must think we're crazy.
Yeah, for
And
real.
you know, and so I kind of want to talk, you know, kind of lead into that, because that's also another theme that I kind of felt a little bit in your album. And once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you were just saying like, listen, like I know y'all don't think that I'm gonna do something with this, but I'm really just I'm doing me. Like I'm actually enjoying myself, and y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna see. So I kind of want you to, like, you know, speak on that a little bit. Like, how has the real support been from your family, from your really close friends, from the other people in the rap career? I mean, in the rap industry.
No, it's been great, man. Like, there's a lot of support I've been getting that I never imagined myself having. Like, so for me to like have the amount of support and like, fans, or so to say, that I have right now, it's just like it's awesome. I'm so grateful for every single one of them. That even if it's just like, hey, good job, man. Like, fuck yeah. Like, I'll support. Like, I'll take that all day. Like like it really makes a difference on like all like these artists, like more than you think. Like, it may not seem like it may matter to them in the moment, but it does. Trust me, it does. Like, and my family, and to go on my family, like they've always been so supportive with me, so all right. So shout outs to them. Like they've never been into rap or hip hop at all. So like I didn't grow up like listening to all that because it was, it wasn't really in the household growing up. But they see me doing my thing. They see me like having fun with it, and like enjoying the time I have with it to work on it and keep me busy. And they've always been for it. So I have nothing, like I can't be thankful enough like for
For sure.
that. So
It keeps going out. It's doing something weird. I don't have no idea what it's doing, baby. All right, you still got me, bro? All
yeah.
right. So yeah, so you were just telling me about, you know, saying the support that you were getting, a lot of support that you didn't even really know that you were gonna get, especially like from your family and stuff like that, because they don't really listen to hip hop and shit like that.
Yeah. So it's like it's always been I don't know. It's always been something that's just been a thing. Like I grew up listening to like 80s rock and pop. So I got a lot of my music like influenced from that, or not a lot of it, but a lot of the music I would listen to was that. And I just like found out about hip hop on my own pretty much. Like I didn't get into hip hop till like high school. So
Okay.
it's like yeah, it's interesting to see how that like incorporated into like what I'm doing now. So yeah, it's
So
definitely
who,
an
who are you
interesting.
listening to at that point?
Say it again.
So like, who were you listening to at that point? Like like, yeah, like what were the artists? Like, what was the first artist that you kind of like? Because like I know for me, like I didn't like, I wasn't born into a house of hip hop. I found hip hop on my own too. It was only when I listened to the radio, and literally the very first hip hop song that I ever heard on the radio was "The Art of Storytelling" by Outkast, and I was like, "What is this?"
Oh
And I think
shit.
the next song after that was like Jay-Z, "You Can't Knock the Hustle." Him, Jay-Z featured Mary J. Blige from Reasonable Doubt. So it was just like, and I mean, I was 6, 7 years old at this point. So it's like I didn't even know hip hop existed. My mom didn't listen to the shit at all. So it's like I definitely understand where you're coming from. So like, what were some of those artists that you really like, that very first introduction to hip hop?
So the first few artists that really got me into hip hop was Ray Sremmurd, Big Sean, and what was another one?
Big
Those are
Sean.
like the main ones, honestly. Yeah, those are the main ones that got me into hip hop mainly. Because I remember listening to Shrem Life first time and just like no skips for a while. I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. You know, like it
Yeah.
was really that made me get into hip hop right there.
Hey, yo, speaking, yo, shout out to Ray Shremmerd, and with Big Sean. If you haven't, if you haven't already listened to his early mixtapes, he had a mixtape series called Finally Famous, and he has
Yeah.
a Finally Famous 1, 2. Yo, list that's some of his best work. Like he has this song called I think that's called She Crazy Than a Motherfucker, or I Should Have Known. It's like I should have known, 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 should have known that bitch was crazy than a motherfucker. Crazy. Like it's it's such a bop. But it's like this is shit that he was dropping before he even dropped his album Finally Famous. So it's like I really do fuck with Big Sean. So yeah, I just had a nostalgic moment on that one, man. But like I'm actually curious, how did you end up tapping in with Lazy? That's actually really dope. Like, how did that happen?
So it's funny you say that. I was performing. I think it was like my third time ever performing anywhere out in this little like warehouse in downtown LA where they had like a bunch of weed vendors and live performers and merch sellers and all that scattered around. So it was like a little like field event. So I was performing a little gig, like a few songs in that warehouse, and his friend Buddy Bud, they were both like up front, looking at me, like watching me perform. They didn't take my eyes off me at all. And yeah, we met from there, and we clicked up almost immediately, dude. Like we almost got to work like almost immediately after that.
That's dope. That's real dope. Like that's that's how it's supposed to happen. You know, I had like made up my own origin story for y'all, and it was somewhat similar. I was like, they had to just met in the circuit, just you know what I'm saying, grinding and doing anything, you know what I'm saying. But that's literally how I pictured it, which is really beautiful. And you know, that leads us to Big Girls. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to motherfucking Big Girls. That if y'all haven't listened
Yes,
already,
sir.
go stream Big Girls, Jason Lazy featuring my boy Yung N.U. But yeah, tell me how the fuck it was doing that shit, man. Cause that song's a goddamn vibe.
I thought you'd never ask, bro. Shit, man. So like, making the song itself, Lazy just sent me the audio file, with his hook and verse and the open beat and everything. So like, once I heard that, I was like, all right, it's how Big Girls it is. So I just slid in my verse like that same night, and I recorded it on my laptop in my bedroom under a blanket, which is how I've been recording lately. So I recorded that like that, and then I sent him the stems to get mixed, and then the song was done. And then for the music video that we have for it, that
Yeah,
was
talk
like
about
a
it.
month
Let's
or a
talk
half
about
ago. Yeah. So, dude, that was fun. A month and a half ago, I think almost 2 months ago, I pulled up to his place in Downey, and he had a videographer, another friend of his, a big girl. So it was all the stuff that we needed. And then we shot that all in like the same night, and we went to a Denny's, because we had to. I felt like we had to. And
man, look, I want to eat your ass and take you out to Denny's.
Denny's, dude, yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So
Yeah,
yeah, dude, that's how it happened.
that's real dope, man. I you know, when I saw that shit for one, like um Jason Lazy and Buddy Bud as well, they're both really dope and masterful at like the promotion game, like the way that they roll shit out. They're really dope at that shit. And you know what I'm saying? And so when I saw that happen, and I was like, okay, like I'm interested. And I was like, who's this random guy that I keep seeing framed into I'm thinking it was just like some random person. I didn't think you were also, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think you were also on the song. I was like, who's this random person that they just keep framing? Is that the videographer? that they just keep putting into the camera real for a second. And then I was like, okay. And then there's this Yung N.U. I was like, okay, who this? And then I was like, oh, that's him. And then it just all started coming together. And like, it was really dope, like really just to watch it all come together, So I really do fuck with, say everything that they do. So in turn, I fuck with you, saying all that. And, I really do think that, you really out here doing your thing, man. You really, you just starting and you really already tapping in with the right people, So keep doing your thing, man. Like I'm hella, I'm not, I don't know, big homie, crazy big homie shit, but like I'm hella proud of you when I listen to the shit and when I really do see from listening to some of your very first things that you put out up into your last tape or up into the most recent song that you dropped, which it's losing my memory for a second. So please tell me the name of the most recent track that you dropped in April.
That was Percy.
Percy, yes, and you went the fuck off on Percy too.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. But with that being said, oh yeah. I was about to actually skip a little bit. What is some advice that you could give to people who are coming up in the game right now, who are those people who have opportunities to go perform at some place downtown LA where they have weed vendors, but they're thinking like, ain't nobody gonna be listening to me, ain't nobody gonna see me. What advice you got for them?
Oh yeah, it's actually funny you say that because I was talking about my friend like about this stuff earlier last night. I would say for anyone like near or close to my position or in the same maybe like just know what you're going for, know why you're doing this stuff, and do it to like the max of your ability because that's how you're gonna stand out to the crowd. And honestly, at the end of the day, like whether you do stuff the way you want it to do it or not, like no one's gonna give a shit. Like so, just do your own thing. Truth be told, and like yeah, just know your purpose, basically.
I like that. That's real, straight up. Yeah, know why you out here. Literally, know why you out here. I fuck with that, man. So yeah, man. With that being said, bro, let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can listen to your music, and also most importantly, what they can look forward to have you come out with.
Hell yeah. So you guys can find me on Instagram at YUNG_N.U. And then you can search me up on Yung N.U, how it's spelled right here in my corner on all platforms. And whether it's Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. And then as far as music drop, me and Jason Lazy got a collab album called Party Casual dropping on August 15th. So
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got that coming August 15th.
That's what's up. I haven't even seen anything about that. Maybe I've been tripping, but I haven't seen anything about that. But that's fucking crazy. If you just gave me an exclusive, I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we got like 10 tracks on it. Each of us has a solo song on it, so it's gonna be mostly it's all like party music and club music. So it's a good way to end the summer.
Hell yeah, man! I fuck with that, man. I'm definitely excited for that, for real. Like that, I really got it. I really got excited. I wasn't even bullshitting. So yeah, what's up? Honestly, that shit got to be in person. My EP, we masterminded as we go, and we was literally like, at this point, the next time we talk, like we all got to be in person. You know what I'm saying? Whether we pull up on y'all pull up on us, we would just right up the road. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna make that work for sure, man. But I just want to say I appreciate you coming on to the show, man. I appreciate you sticking with us through our, I'm not gonna say technical difficulties. We've been trying to figure it out, so we in here, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for listening to my music. Like shit, that's a huge compliment that you been giving me today. So it means a lot coming from someone else.
Already, man, for sure, man. This is what we do because here at Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, I'm included now. Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, where a fan makes a fan. We out of here.